Hello everybody, hope you're all well. Today's video is gonna be my November favorites. And I haven't filmed one of these videos in a really long time, but I have a great selection of beauty products in here that I would love to talk to you about. So if you're interested in that, then please keep on watching. Now, I'm gonna start with skincare, then I'm gonna move on into makeup. And if you've been watching my videos, then you would know that a couple of videos back, I did film a Space NK haul. And on that haul, I did buy a couple of Drunk Elephant items. I bought their Sea Tango eye cream, which to be fair, I haven't started using yet, and one of their serums. And their serum is the first thing I want to talk to you about. So this is the Be Hydra Intensive Hydration Serum. And it's the one that is the pineapple ceramide with provitamin B5. This is an amazing serum. Usually with skincare items, you need to use them for a good amount of time in order to start noticing any sort of results. But this wasn't the case with the Be Hydra serum. As soon as I started applying this on my face, I immediately noticed some results. And bear in mind that I have been using this serum only at nighttime because I have a different kind of serum that I use in the mornings that has a little bit of SPF on it. This one doesn't have SPF, but as I said, I immediately started noticing results. Sometimes because I have a very dry skin, my skin feels like quite tight and like it just feels tightened. And as soon as I started using the Be Hydra serum, the tightness went away. My skin absorbs this serum super quickly, like within a few seconds. And because I've been using this serum at nighttime, when I wake up in the morning, my skin feels a little bit more plump and a little bit more youthful. The second skincare item comes from Aurelia, which is a British brand, and it's their Cell Repair Night Oil. Now, I discovered Aurelia sort of by accident because this night oil was part of my Liberty Beauty Advent calendar from last year, from 2017, and that was part of it. And before that, I've never heard of Aurelia before. And Aurelia is a probiotic skincare brand. I think it's the only skincare brand that their whole range is dedicated on probiotics and it has probiotic elements in it. Now, I have been using that for a couple of months now. But since the weather changed in November, I've started using it more often. During September or October, I would use a night oil, but I would use it like perhaps once a week. Whereas in November, I would use it more often. So I would use it like 3 times a week, maybe even 4 times sometimes. And I have to say, first of all, this feels like a very luxurious kind of oil. It smells heavenly, it smells so earthy. It smells like you're in a spa. So it immediately makes me relax and feel like super cozy. And since this is the last step in my skincare, I was afraid that it won't get absorbed that easily because I have been layering quite a bit. But this gets absorbed super fast. And what's the most weird thing about this is that I have dry skin, as I said before, but I also have rosacea. So generally my skin type is very dry, irritated, kind of aggravated skin. But as soon as I started using this a little bit more frequently than once a week, I did start noticing that my redness faded away, like my skin wasn't that angry anymore. And it's a little bit more difficult, especially during the winter months when you have the heating on all the time. My skin gets to get quite dry no matter what I do. But as I was saying, this helped with my rosacea and helped calm down my skin. I know that this is not addressed to people that do have rosacea. I mean, it's suitable for all skin types, but it's not a product that is specifically meant to be used by people that have rosacea. But I personally did some result. I think it's a combination maybe of using good skincare products. I'm not sure, but as soon as I started using this night oil more frequently, I did see results, and I did see my rosacea not completely disappearing, but I don't have as many flare-ups as I used to in the past. By the way, this is the 30 ml bottle, and it does last you for a really long time. So yeah, I only use like a couple of drops, and that's more than enough for my whole face and neck. The last thing I want to talk to you guys skincare wise is a brow oil. Now, I was a little bit dubious when it comes to this kind of products. I honestly believe that they didn't work, or for them to work you need to be using them for a really long time. But I came across this Bee Brow Bar brow oil, and I have been using it every night before I go to bed. That's how you're supposed to do it, and this helps to nourish your brows and make them a little bit fuller. Now, I do have quite sparse brows myself, so I said, why not? I should give it a go. And yes, this is very nourishing. It has like a roller ball, so it's like a mini perfume, and you just do this on your eyebrows a couple of times, and then you massage it in, and I massage it in. I'm not sure whether you should do that, and then I just go to bed. And I think I've noticed, especially on my right eyebrow, that's a little bit more sparse than my left one, I did start seeing some regrowth, and yeah, I wasn't expecting it. So kind of a weird product, but if you're really into your brows, give Bee Brow Bar a go. And also it's so quick and easy to apply, so it literally takes like 20 seconds to do both brows. So it's not like you're adding a full-on extra step into your skincare routine. Moving on to makeup now, I have 4 items that I would like to talk to you about, and I have to apologize for this. It wasn't intentional, but they're all kind of mid-range to high-end items. So you know that I like my drugstore makeup as well. This month just happened for me to reach for those items. Now, the first one is a Tom Ford cream eyeshadow. Now, I bought this from Duty Free from Heathrow when I was traveling, and I bought a couple of these. And to be fair, as with the majority of my makeup, I bought it, I used it a couple of times, and then it got lost in my drawer, and I've never used it again. But somehow I rediscovered this. This is the color 01 Platinum, and this is how it looks like. This is like it's a bronzy color, but it's more of a cool tone bronze. I really like this because I believe that the majority of the cream bronzy shadows out there are warmer, whereas this is a little bit cooler, and I thought this is a little bit different. Now, you can use this kind of cream shadows as a base and then put your powder shadow on top of that. But what I've been doing lately, because especially when I'm on Sundays or when I'm bored and I don't want to do a full eye look, I just want something really quickly and get out of the door, I just apply this all over the lid. And to be fair, I have it on my eyes today. I'm pretty sure the camera is not picking it up, but if I swatch it for you, you'll see like it's an amazing color, and you can spread it out quite a bit, so you can make it look quite impactful and intense, but you can also spread it out and make it look quite sheer. It has a little bit of shine to it, which I like. And yes, because I have a 3-month-old baby and I don't have a lot of time, as I said, to do a full-on eye makeup look, I usually grab this and I just apply it all over my lid, sometimes even with my fingers, and then I'll apply a little bit of mascara and I'm good to go. And I think this color is really beautiful. Now, the next item is a powder and comes from Hourglass. Now, I don't know a lot of things about powders. I'm not particularly into powders simply because I do have a dry skin, as I mentioned before. And having a dry skin, powders can be a little bit tricky on me, because if I have a dry patch somewhere on my face, a powder could exaggerate this dry patch. So I'm trying to avoid powders altogether. However, sometimes I find the need to set like underneath my eyes or a little bit on my T-zone. So I've been using this ambient lighting powder in the color Diffuse Light. This is amazing. It's kind of a yellowish undertone powder, but I really like it because first of all, it's so silky to touch and it's so finely milled that it's super soft on the skin. But the reason I like it the most is because this powder has a sort of shine and it doesn't make my skin look dry. And that is something that 9 out of 10 powders usually do. And if I use it with a fluffy brush, it adds some luminosity on my skin, and if anything, it makes it look more alive and more glowy. So yeah, I really like that. And as I said, I've been using this a lot throughout of November, but I have used it in the past, so I have been using this for more than a good couple of months now, and I'm really pleased with it. The next 2 items are both lip products, and I have been using both items on rotation, not only throughout the month of November, but in October, even back in September. And one of it is relatively new, at least for me, and the other one is an old school classic. So I'm gonna start with a relatively new one, at least for me. This comes from Hourglass again, and this is in the color Peacemaker. It's from the Girl collection and it's a nude, but it's a beautiful nude. It's so creamy. It's a warm kind of nude, and I just feel like it looks very flattering on me. I don't know if the camera is picking it up, but it's one of the most gorgeous nudes I've seen. It's a peachy kind of nude, and I just love the formula. And I don't know what other colors they do, but this formula is amazing, and especially this color, I think like a warm nude for this time of year, it's beautiful. Now the next lip product comes from MAC, and this is like an OG old school color, and it's the color Velvet Teddy. I used to wear that years and years ago, and then again I stopped using it as with a lot of other makeup items, but then for some reason I rekindled my love for it. This is a matte, so the formula of this is not as comfortable as the one of Hourglass, but the color of this is again amazing. So you can see here right next to that Hourglass, this is a little bit more browny, I would say, in comparison to the Hourglass, but this is way more long lasting just because of the formula, because it's a matte formula, whereas this is much more creamier. So on the days that my lips are quite dry, I go for the Hourglass, whereas on the days that I want something to last a little bit longer, if we're going out for lunch or if we're going out for brunch and I know that I'm gonna eat or drink something, I will use the MAC Velvet Teddy because of the longevity. So that was everything from me, guys. That were my November favorites. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, as always, don't forget to give it a good old thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. Thank you very much all for watching, and I will see you all next week with another video. Bye, you guys.